Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on the test server, and I want to go ahead and test out the new Draconic hero. Now, overall, it seems like she is going to be very, very broken when it comes to the build and when it comes to the damage that she's going to be putting out in game modes. So again, I want to run through here, see exactly the testing of her within the trials. Then we'll hop over and see if we're actually seeing any practical application with the hero within the Cursed Realm, the Nightmare Corridor, Treasure Scramble, and all of those key places within AFK Arena. So looking over at the Arena of Trials, we always start this off just to see kind of a baseline, because most heroes, when we're coming in here, are running about 40, I'd say 40, 45 million. So we do put this at the 360, and then we do run the hero by herself. Now, of course, remember, being a highborn Draconic hero, a lot more expensive to get. And I love the build, even looking at like the smoldering effect that we have here on the bottom. Now, I'm not going to put any collections on there, anything of that nature, but I want to see and the continuous damage that she does just right off the bat. And there is the meteorite. Boom, that is going to drop in just a minute, guys. It's incredible. It's incredible to see the hero. So there is the 40 million damage that, again, we kind of traditionally see here. Want to run through, and we'll run it through a little bit quicker, because you can see, guys, right off the bat, you can see the damage just starts pulsating. I mean, within a couple seconds, it's already pretty much game over for the enemy team. And again, it's when you start thinking about the ability for a hero like this and having the ability to actually buff up the attack rating a lot higher, getting a lot higher erosion, getting a lot higher tenacity, a lot of different things in here. This hero is, in my opinion, guys, going to be just absolutely broken. Also has that big shielding aspect. Let's crank this up a little bit higher, because I want to see what it looks like again when it kind of comes to this damage in here. Because right off the bat, boom, damage starts. So we know and look at that, guys. Nara just falls over right at the beginning. Again, that big meteorite is right there in the middle. Takes everybody out in about 14 seconds there, taking out 79 million damage in the entirety just as a solo hero. Now, also remember, like I said, guys, we got the shielding aspect in here, a couple other things, got some dodge, got some blocks. And again, it just takes everybody out 9 seconds in that one, melting everyone in the entirety, 95 million damage. And this is, again, why it really feels like this hero is going to be pretty broken in game modes, is just the continuous damage. And thinking of a fight that's going to last a full minute 30, you can see already kind of that burn that we're seeing. I mean, Nara already went down within the first couple seconds. Boom, just the whole lava pool right there, 117 million. And I want to see also, at what point is she actually going to take fatal damage within these formations? Because even now, I mean, she takes a little bit of damage, and then the ultimate with the dragon just burns everybody down like we've seen. 160 million in there. And I'm thinking another 50 levels should be about the point where a solo hero is starting to die out in the entirety. But we know Draconic heroes are different just because of the damage they put out. And there's already the continuous damage. So she dies. That is what we wanted to see, guys. So right there, 109 million. Let's drop in formation number 2. So without the cheat death in here, really does make a big difference with the levels and the damage putting out. Some formations, boom, we got the Draconic. So can still take out some, not a full, just completely run over, 231 million damage. But I'm thinking about when we start putting in other heroes, like even Leviathan as a very strong buffer within here. Also the survivability that we have with the hero, the shielding ability that we have across the board. Even there is the big lava piece up on top. Yeah, takes out all 5 targets relatively easy. 180, even 2 million from Leviathan. Let's go ahead and hop out of here and see if we can crank this up just a little bit higher. Then we'll also put some other damage dealers in here to kind of see, again, where she's coming in formation-wise, or really where she's coming in damage-wise with a few other ones, knowing that this AoE damage in here is pretty incredible. Even there, the meteor, I don't even think hit the ground on that one. 421 million. But let's drop out, and let's drop like a Skyline in here. Again, just to kind of gauge the damage of where we're seeing these heroes, really come in. Because again, Skyline is one that is going to have a lot of AoE damage on the entire battlefield. even with the dragon speak damage, and of course she can amplify that dragon speak damage. She almost did die there. 232, 174. That is what we wanted to see, guys, right there. So she is doing a pretty impressive amount of damage. And I'm almost wondering if there's going to be a point um, where Skyland could possibly be replaced in some formations. That's going to be interesting to see. Now, of course, running with Lannon here, again, just going to burn all of these heroes down in the entirety. 456 million damage in there. Let's even drop like an Eron in here, because remember, he does have a little bit of dragon scale damage or dragon speed damage. Got that crowd control going on. And again, trying to gauge exactly where her damage is kind of coming in at. She did die right there to Theowen of all heroes. Boom, 148. So look, 420 in there from Eron. Let's go ahead and drop her in there. And let's do the delay in here with Leica. We know it's going to be a delay coming into battle. Leica doing some damage. So then we start the continuous damage, which she died right away on that one, guys. Some big burst damage in there. Now, of course, positioning in here could make a big difference, but she still put out 245 million damage, 267. That is very impressive. Let me replay this, because that was very impressive to the point of coming out. So she pops up, boom, already dead. So literally, she was there seconds and doing that amount of damage in just the mere seconds that she was there. I'm almost wondering if we do have a little bit of a longer fight, what exactly is that going to look like for the damage and where we're seeing the scaling of the damage. Got a little bit of a tank in there. Boom, she's just shelling out the damage. New record right there, 391 million. So definitely putting out some very big numbers relatively fast, guys. And I'm almost wondering, not even just Skyland, but thinking of like running Ulna or a couple other heroes in here. And of course, right now we're not even looking at the point to kind of buff her up or make her stronger. We know Skyland's survivability with that cheat death in there. I'm definitely going to be cranking out a lot of damage. Look at that. 507. Let's replay this, because she died very early. So she pops up right there. Boom, AoE damage. Then, of course, she is burned down right there. Rest of the battle, and you can still see, guys, they are still burning. That is a lot of damage. 570 million. And I'm wondering, let's put a buffer in here like the awakened version of Estrelda. She, of course, is going to provide that armor aspect on there. Again, amplifying the damage that she's doing. The meteor is up. Boom, meteor comes down while she's in dragon form. 893 million damage. That's pretty impressive. That is pretty impressive in here. Where do we have some of our other big buffers in here? You know what? I'm going to drop in, like, we have a Nox, we have a Lavatoon, couple other heroes just to really amplify the damage that we're doing in here to see. Even thinking like Lightbearer, if we do a Jerome or we do a Palmer, couple different heroes in here to really maximize the damage and really the buffing that we have within the game mode. I feel like crowd control with her, yeah, see, she died right there, is going to be very important, is that crowd control piece. So survivability wise, she is definitely not there, guys. Let's see, let's finish out this formation. Because I'm thinking if we run her back row with a couple of tanks up front, I think the survivability is not even there. Yeah, a billion damage, 131. So let's swap out and see what that does look like. Again, formation number 3. Let's drop him in here, and then we'll drop her back here and see, because this put Jerome. Now, Jerome's pretty good up front. A lot of formations, we actually run Jerome up front. But I'm just thinking for her, see, she got an upgrade right there. The Eron went down pretty early, but there is the dragon speak damage, guys. The Dia down here now, she's at an SSS. There's triple S up there. Yeah, and I mean the shielding aspect even in there, that's got to be a crazy amount, guys. 1.08 billion damage within the formation. Again, pretty impressive overall with some of the. Let's drop a Gavis in here. Again, just thinking about the damage mitigation piece in here that she's going to require seems pretty high. And remember, this is a fully built out hero, but the collection absolutely needs to be maximized for this hero. I feel like that's where a lot of the effectiveness is going to come out, is maximizing the collections for these heroes. 672, guys. That is pretty impressive. Let's see if she is being used anywhere, because I am impressed. I'm very impressed with the damage that she is putting up in the test modes. Now, again, might be a little bit of time before we actually find a place for her, but thinking of the whale, these Rockstar star level players. So there's Marseille, there's Iran, we do have Liberta in there, Skyland being used, and then we do have Scion. Is she being used in a formation? We're not seeing her used yet, but I'm kind of wondering, again, these could have been set a little bit earlier. There she is being used within that Skyland formation. Now remember, she does amplify that dragon speak damage, so that might make a big difference on the numbers that Skyland is actually putting out within this formation. And that is the trial version, because remember, still very, very early within AFK Arena, but are we going to see more of that trial version, which we do not in there? Oh, she's being used right there. So look at this for a minute. So we have Lava Tune, again, really big buffer in there. We have Aurelia, which is going to buff her up, and this is an actual build. Meleon in there, we talked about keeping them on the enemy side. Skarath, again, keeping them on the enemy side. This might be a really big difference with the damage, because remember, when that meteorite falls, and I want to see what it is, because this is the full, and I hope the replay works in here, guys. Sometimes test server, it's a little bit buggy. There we go. So we know we want to push all of these enemies to this backside. Meleon puts everyone together, as we can see. Boom, Aurelia gets some buffs. And there's so much going on in these formations anymore, guys. There is, and we should see the meteorite coming up in just a minute. There's the ultimate ability. Yeah, I mean, just burning through everyone within a very, very short amount of time. Wow, guys, there is so much going on in these fights. You can't even see. And every hero is locked in this back, which again is by design. With Skarath in the combination of Meleon, you can see the lava down here underneath all of this sand that is just burning. And then, of course, there is the 3 hits on the laser beam. That is just insane. It is insane looking at everything that we have going on in AFK Arena. And of course, the Enraged Timer, guys, it gets to a point where if they come out of the backfield, it's game over for us instantly, just because of the damage they put out. But that is some crazy, crazy, crazy numbers. And again, we're already seeing her used within the Cursed Realm itself. So right off the bat, we are already seeing a little bit of play. Now, this, of course, is the new boss that we're seeing within the Nightmare Corridor. Let's see if, and yeah, right there, guys, 86 billion. Yeah, being used in formations. And again, with the damage, looking at the way from her build, it's kind of impressive to see how much damage she's really putting out. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.